Hi there and welcome. Today we're going to talk about schedules and service level agreements in ServiceNow and also their relation, how schedules interact with a service level agreement and its timer in ServiceNow. So let's jump right into it. I will share my screen. We're looking at ServiceNow here. And to start off, I would like to show you an incident where the SLA timer runs from the start. So I'll pick Abraham Lincoln because I know his working hours is from 8 to 17. So ape demo SLA timer starts now. And I'll just need to set the priority to 2 because that is the SLA definition I've prepared for this example. We can go ahead and save the record. Now, when we go to the bottom here, we can see on the related list, we have a task SLAs, and we have one. It is a task SLA that relates to the SLA definition called priority to resolution 8 hour. It is of type SLA, and we need to resolve it. It's in progress, and we have 7 hours and 59 minutes left, and we've used 1 second, it says here. So that we have used 1 second indicates to us that we have actually activated the SLA and it is running currently. So let's take another example where we have a service level agreement where we would like to wait with the start of it to be conformed with the schedule of the caller. So imagine that we would only need the SLA to run in the working hours of the caller. And our caller in this example is not currently working. And as such, the SLA timer should not start at this point. So going up again, we will create a new incident. This time we'll pick another American president, JFK. Timer should start SLA timer now. We will set it into priority 2 as well. There we go. Save it. And drum roll, we'll go to the bottom. And we can see business elapsed time is 0, indicating to us that this SLA target response is yet to be activated. So how do we achieve this? This is what I would like to show you in this video. To do that, I will go to the SLA definition. You do that by typing in SLA definition in the filter navigator. To that one. And this is where we have all the different service level agreement definitions that determine when a timer should run, when it should pause, when it should stop, and under which and to what schedules and time zones it should be conformed with the timer. So let's see how we make that happen. We are looking at the priority 2 resolution 8 hour here. We'll open up that record. This takes us to a view with some basic information. We can see some naming. We can see it's an SLA. The target is resolution. It makes task SLAs or task timers for the incident table. It makes timers that count down from 8 hours. And here we then have an important field called the schedule source. The schedule source is how we dynamically determine if the schedule should run, that it should run in accordance with the caller's schedule here. So we can differentiate from user to user when the service level agreement should run, especially important to be able to do stuff like that in organizations where you have rosters working different hours and global organizations where you have maybe a follow the sun service desk. So let's have a look at this. The schedule source is the incident field, and the schedule source field, so where are we finding the schedule, is in here. It's in the caller and then down to schedule in this example. You could also choose any other field. So for example, if you were working in the case application customer service management in ServiceNow, you could find a schedule associated with the contact of that record. For now, we'll take schedule here, call schedule. And the time zone set to the caller's time zone. This is getting overwritten by the time zone that is on the schedule chosen on the caller's schedule. So that doesn't matter as much. Going down here, so we have SLA task timers running on the incident table, and we have it running under the following conditions. It needs to be an active record, and priority needs to be 2. When these criteria are met, the timer is created and starts counting. We also have some different possibilities here. We can say retroactive start and set the timer from the creation point. And there are some different possibilities here. We could set it to created is fine with us. So this means that it may not be that we land into the correct conditions in the first go if we do not have a task SLA definition that fits the bill of the current record data, which would then, it would not start an SLA timer. When it then goes into active is true and priority is active is true and priority is 2, then it would start the SLA timer, but it would start it retroactively. So not from the creation point, it would minus the time it took from us to get from creation point until we met the criteria of the incident record being active is true and priority is too high. And then we're able to set some cancel conditions. For example, that the start conditions are no longer met, then this would be cancelled. And then ideally we would have a supplementing SLA definition that picks it up from there with start conditions matching the cancel conditions. For example, that priority is 3 instead. We are also able to set pause condition. Currently, we can see that the SLA timer will pause if it becomes on hold. And the on hold reason is awaiting caller. Or if incident state is resolved, then it would also pause. The timer would stop once the incident state is closed. So this would mean that we have a SLA that starts as soon as we meet the criteria defined here in the start condition, an active priority 2 incident. It would pause when we meet the resolution of the incident, or if it's on hold and pending the caller. And finally, it would stop once the incident has been closed, meaning that the resolution has been accepted or it has been skipped in any way, the incident. All right. So jumping back up here to the caller schedule as the schedule source field. Let's have a look, because this is where all the magic happens, where we can, as I said, differentiate on when and how the timing should work. So to understand why it worked for Abraham Lincoln, or the timer started immediately, and not for JFK, we need to look into the profiles. So this here is Abraham Lincoln. We can scroll down and confirm that now we have used 7 minutes. So just to confirm that the SLA is running, we can go into his user profile. And here we have a schedule field. It may be hidden on your form, so you would need to add it. You would be able to press this icon to show the schedule, how it looks in reality. You can see it from 8 in the morning till 5 in the evening. And you would be able to open it up. And here you can see there is a time zone set along with the name. The time zone is important because this tells us from when is it 8 o'clock. It defines if it's 8 o'clock in Europe, Copenhagen, or for example, if it's 8 o'clock in Hong Kong. The starting point of the SLA timer would be different depending on the time zone you choose here. And this is what I mentioned, overrides the time zone definition in the SLA definition record, also seen here. All right. And the actual working hours are defined here in the related list called schedule entries. You'll be able to make a new one. For now, we'll just take a look at Monday to Friday. So this is how it's defined. You can see that it has a naming that makes sense for this matter. It will have to be shown as busy. And then we would define the interval of hours it should relate to. Not care too much about the starting point or the date and year. Just make it prior to the current date. And then you have the repeat. So it would repeat every weekday, Monday to Friday, from 8 to 17. And that is also what we could see in the schedule here. Every day from 8 to 17. And that is why the incident SLA timer is running for Abraham Lincoln, because the caller's schedule defines that his working hours are right now, whereas it would imply that the working hours for JFK is not within is not right now. So let's have a look. How does his schedule look? And let's just reconfirm that it is still not running. Business elapsed time 0, so it's not running. Let's go into his user profile. Open record. We will go down into schedule, and you can also see here it has a different naming, indicating that it is in fact a different schedule. We can try to open it up. How does it look? It goes from 16 to 22, so from 4 to 10 in the evening. And that is not right now. We only have 1:30. So his SLA timer would start once we reach 4. So he's on the evening shift, in other words. And that is pretty much how you understand SLA definition, the schedule, and how they relate to each other to define when the SLA timer should start. In the end, let's have a look at how you would create any days that should be excluded from your working hours. So for example, holidays, bank holidays, or any other national holidays that you would need to be conformed with in your SLA target response to ensure that the timer does not run here. So I'll go to schedule and pick schedules here. I'll need to find here. We have 8 to 5 weekdays excluding holidays. Let's go to that schedule. So this is a schedule as the other ones we saw that can be referenced on a caller or any other place in the system that allows for it. So we could also have chosen this schedule. This one here, it is equal or like the one we saw previously. It's from 8 to 17, and it's shown as busy. So this is indicating that this is his busy hours, his working hours from Monday to Friday. Let's go back. Then we have a child schedule here. And this is where the holidays come into picture, the days that should be excluded. So let's open up the child schedule. It could also have been a child entry. It's a child schedule for its reusability in this case. So this holiday schedule could be used in different in other different schedules. So it has, and to that matter, you can see it's referenced by 2. One called working hours and the one we came from. And it has 12 schedule entries, indicating that there are 12 holidays on a year. So let's take the 25th of December. It repeats every year, Christmas Day, opening that up. So you can see it is the main difference here is that type is set to excluded, meaning that no timer should run in this period and still show as busy. And then you can pick a specific date it should show. and set a repeat. So this repeats every year on the 25th of December, and it excludes timers all day. Yeah. All right. So that is how you do your SLA definitions, your schedules, relate them to each other, and how you can understand working hours versus exclusion hours or holidays or days off. So any synonym you would prefer there. So that's essentially what I want to show you guys. I hope it helps you. Otherwise, please reach out and I'll try to guide you through any issues you might have. All right. Thank you.